Okay, so I'm gonna get us started on the agenda. If you guys remember, we don't actually have a commission chair or vice chair right now. The previous chair and vice chair were Steve Bullock and Jody Christensen, and they've both since retired from the commission. So we just have a couple of brief agenda items to get to before we vote on new officers for the commission. So if you'll just bear with me, we'll get to that point. To start, since this is a virtual meeting, I am going to do a roll call vote, a roll call attendance, excuse me. And so I'll just note everybody who's here. I see David Lewis, Robert Stiglich, Colleen Swedberg, Scott Oxner, Frank Rossello, Bill Burns, Carrie Livingston, Dave Halper, Stacy Penn, and Mark Landis is also with us. And I just want to let you all know as well, Colleen, Councilmember Swedberg, is our new liaison from the council to the EDC. So we're very glad to have her with us. Thank you, Colleen. And we also have a new, since we've last met, which was these many months ago, Mark Landis has also been reappointed to the EDC. So he is a returning EDC member. So welcome back, Mark. So we can move on to our second agenda item, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. I know that that's a little bit awkward to do in this virtual setting, but we'll just go ahead and say it together. If you have a flag nearby, imagine one in your mind, I guess. So follow me.
Right.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
Of the United States of America.
And to the republic which it stands,
one nation,
under
God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. And next up on the agenda is the approval of minutes. These are from November 6th, 2019. I hope you had a chance to review them. The attendance, anyone who was part of the commission at that point should vote on them. Otherwise, if you were not part of the commission at that time, you can abstain. So does anyone have any comments to the minutes, corrections to the minutes before we vote to approve them?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure where.
Well,
Hover over the.
Seeing none, I will do a roll call vote to approve the minutes. If someone could make a motion to approve the minutes in a second.
I make a motion. This is Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
oh, there. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll click on it.
Okay, great. All right, and because we're in this virtual format, I have to do a roll call vote for every action y'all take. So I'll just go through the list. David Lewis,
Yes.
Robert Stiglich,
Yes.
Scott Oxner. You were muted, but I saw you say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Frank Rossello,
Yes.
Bill Burns,
Yes.
Carrie Livingston,
Yes.
Dave Halper,
Yes.
Stacy Penn,
Yes.
Mark Landis.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Great. All right. So the next item on our agenda is old business. There is none. So let's get to the first new business, which is electing a chair and vice chair for the commission. In your packets is the election process, which might feel a little formal, but we'll just go through the process as it's laid out. The first part of the process is to nominate candidates for the chair and vice chair. So nominations don't require a second, but you can second it if you want to show support for that nomination. So if you would like to nominate someone, you should say motion to nominate Commissioner blank for the position of chairperson, or motion to nominate Commissioner blank for the position of vice chairperson. You may also nominate yourself. That's perfectly fine and acceptable. So I'm hoping we have some volunteers or some voluntolds that would like to be chair and vice chair.
I would
Bill
like to,
Burns.
no, sorry, go ahead.
Bill Burns, I nominate Bill Burns for chairperson.
All right.
Can I withdraw at this point?
I suppose you can, Bill.
I'd nominate Scott.
All right.
If he doesn't come off mute, he doesn't get a vote.
I'll vote for you. Don't worry.
No.
David, did you have a nomination?
I was going to nominate Commissioner Burns as well.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Mark Landis.
Who said that? Dave Halper?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Orstello for assistant vice chair.
Okay. David Lewis nominates Frank for vice.
Who did you nominate?
You.
I respectfully decline. Thank you so much, but I respectfully decline. Thank you so much, but I'm going to pass on that.
Thank you for your service.
So to make it easier, the most I'd want to do would be the vice chair. I don't have the time to do it right, I think, for the pres or the captain or the chair or whatever you want to call yourself. So factor that in. Scott.
Okay, so we have 3 motions currently, nominations for chair. There was a motion to nominate Bill Burns for chair, to nominate Scott Oxner for chair, and to nominate Mark Landis for chair. We have 1 motion to nominate Frank Orstello for vice chair, which he has declined, but the motion does still stand. If there's anyone else who would like to be vice chair, please throw a nomination out.
I'll nominate Bill Burns for vice chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other nominations that anyone would like to make? Okay, if there are no more, someone should make a motion to that nominations close. So someone needs to say motion to close nominations for the position of chairperson or vice chairperson.
So moved. I make motion to close nominations for chair and vice chair.
Thank you. And can we have a second?
I second, Scott.
Okay, let me just get my thinking straight on how to do your roll call vote for this. I think we'll just go in order of the motions, and everyone will need to vote on each motion. Unless that doesn't sound right to anyone else. I think that's how we'll go with it. So let's start with chairperson. We have 3 motions on the floor for chairperson. There is a motion to nominate Bill Burns for chairperson. I'll go through the list.
Isn't this where I deny? I can't take the
Right.
pres. So vice chair is the only thing I can do. I really appreciate the support, but I can't do it this year.
Thank you, Bill. I'm presenting this as a mere formality to close the
Oh,
vote.
sorry. I'll back
Okay.
off.
Okay, unless your fellow commissioners are really cruel, I don't expect them to
Oh, some are.
support this motion. Some are. Maybe Frank is gonna really hold out for this one. Okay, just to clear this motion. Well, I suppose the motion maker could rescind it. That was Frank.
Frank, this is where you rescind your motion.
Or Bill Burns for chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
chair.
Okay, I rescind my motion for Bill Burns for chair.
Okay,
It kind of hurt, didn't it?
Oh, crushed me.
okay. Okay,
I rescind my nomination for Frank Orstella as vice chair.
okay, okay. All right. Okay, so now we have two motions for chair. I'll just go through with them. There's a motion to nominate Scott Oxner for chair, and the other nomination is for Mark Landis for chair. We'll do Scott's first. David Lewis.
Yes.
So can I ask a clarifying question? So right now, does a yes mean that that is your vote between the two candidates, that it is Scott or Mark? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So if you support the nomination for one, you should not support the other nomination to make the most sense. Okay, Robert Stiglitz.
I'm confused.
I know it's weird that we're
Okay,
doing.
so I'm going to vote for Mark Landis.
Okay, all right. So you are not supporting this current motion.
Okay, yes.
Thank you. All right, Scott Oxner.
I vote for Mark,
Okay,
please.
okay, okay. Okay, Frank Orsello.
I'm gonna vote for Mark Landis.
Okay. Bill Burns.
Scott,
Okay. Gary Livingston.
Mark Landis.
Okay. Dave Halper.
Mark Landis.
Stacy Penn.
Scott.
Okay. And Mark Landis.
Abstain.
Okay. All right. So the next motion that you're voting to support or not support is for Mark Landis as chair. So we'll just go through this again quickly. I think that David Lewis,
No.
Robert Stiglitz,
Yes.
Scott Oxner,
Yes,
okay, Bill Burns,
no.
Gary Livingston,
Yes.
Dave Halper,
Yes.
Stacy Penn,
No.
Mark Landis.
Again, I'll abstain because it's
Yep.
not right.
No problem. No problem. Okay, let me just tally this up.
You forgot me.
I'm sorry, who did I forget?
Me, Frank.
Frank. Oh, sorry, Frank.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes for Mark. All right, we've got. Then the result is that you have 5 people have voted for Mark Landis as chair, 3 for Scott Oxner as chair. So we'll make the motions to elect chair and vice chair in a minute. Let's just clear the motion for the vice chair election really quickly, and then we can move on. So we have one. David rescinded his motion for vice chair, so we just have one nomination motion for Bill Burns to be vice chair. So we'll just very quickly get this out. David Lewis.
Yes.
Okay. Robert Stiglitz.
Yes. Yes.
Scott Oxner.
yes,
Frank Orsello.
Yes.
Bill Burns.
Abstaining,
Abstain. Gary Livingston.
he means yes.
Yes.
Okay, Dave Halper.
Yes.
Stacy Penn.
Yes.
Mark Landis.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we've got resounding support there too. Good. So please, we need a motion to elect Commissioner Landis for the position of chairperson of the Economic Development Commission for a period of 1 calendar year, commencing with the February 3rd, 2021 meeting. Can someone please make that?
We have to remember all that.
You can say moved.
This is Dave Halper. I make the motion to elect Mark Landis as the chair effective today for the period of 1 year.
Okay, can we get a second for that motion?
Second.
Second.
Ooh, what do we have? Is that Bill Burns and David Lewis?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and I need a motion to elect Commissioner Burns for the position of vice chairperson of the Economic Development Commission for a period commencing with the February 3rd, 2021 meeting.
All right, this is Dave Halper again. I move to elect Bill Burns for the vice chair position of the Economic Development Commission effective February 3rd for the period of 1 year.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by David. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, we have to. We'll do a roll call vote on both motions at the same time, if that's acceptable to everyone.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your patience. Okay, motions to elect David Lewis,
Yes.
Robert Stiglich,
Yes.
Scott Oxner,
Yes.
Frank Orsello,
Yes.
Bill Burns,
Yes.
Gary Livingston,
Yes.
Dave Halper,
Yes.
Stacy Penn,
Yes.
Mark Landis.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We got through it. Okay, Mark, would you like to take over the rest of the agenda facilitation?
No, you're doing a great job. Just finish it up.
Okay. All right. So the next thing on the agenda is just a very quick overview of the different resources that have been out for businesses that have been impacted by the economic effects of the pandemic. So while we were not meeting, I was sending some updates to you all about different program usage. So this is just kind of a look back to see, for the programs where we can get information about specific loans that were made to Oakdale businesses. This is what we know about how much money was pumped into the Oakdale economy to support local businesses. So we know from the federal level, we can get data about the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. We don't have the information about the latest period that's open currently, but through August of 2020, we know that there were 184 businesses served by the PPP program, and 27 of those were considered the large PPP loans, and then 157 were smaller. They were under $150,000 or less, so that size of loans. So there was a lot of PPP that came to Oakdale businesses. There have been some state programs as well that Oakdale businesses got to take advantage of. The county has had several rounds of grant funding that has been available to businesses in the county. And your packet has information that was current as of the packet date. I did get an update today. The third round of county grants is still open, but they are starting to make awards. And I got information that they're in process of awarding 10 more grants to Oakdale businesses. So for a total of another $120,000 that is going to Oakdale businesses. So that's good news. And I know that grant round has been heavily applied to, and I think that requests are gonna, outstrip supply as far as how much money they have available currently. And then at the city level, we have the COVID recovery business loan, which is a short-term deferred loan with 0 interest that businesses that were closed by the governor's executive orders, so primarily like bars, restaurants, salons in the spring, some like gyms, fitness centers, those sorts of businesses that have had specific closures because they're places of public accommodation. This city program offers up to $10,000 per loan for businesses to apply to. And your packet said there were 6 loans, but since then we have dispersed a 7th. So that's $70,000 that went out into the community. So the actual total for all that we can get data about is $31,092,610 that's gone in to support local businesses that have been impacted by the pandemic. So that's pretty good.
Linnea, I have a question for you.
Yeah. Yep.
With the, it shows that 184 had taken advantage of the PPP program.
Yep.
In Oakdale.
Yep.
Do we have any statistics on how many businesses are in Oakdale? So was there 300 and 184 took advantage of it?
Yep. There's about 650 businesses in Oakdale.
Is there?
Yep.
It's just it's just sad that the ones that didn't take advantage of it, it was there, and that there is some.
Yeah.
So it's not a perfect science, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that I was just doing a big analysis this morning of, of our Oakdale businesses, how many were clearly closed by the executive orders, and there was about 65 businesses that we know were closed through those executive orders for longer than just the stay-at-home period. So, and of those 65 businesses, it looks like there are about 35 that didn't receive any sort of assistance that I can track. So I'm not sure why they didn't, if they didn't apply or if there was some reason that they weren't eligible, but that was just kind of interesting to see. To your point, Bill, why didn't businesses get the assistance? Because there are a lot of programs that have been available over the past year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Linnea, if I can ask, so of the businesses that went under or whatever, they did not apply, or did they not know that that was available, even though it was publicly, in front of them?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you that I worked with Alyssa to get information out about the city's program and the county's program directly to every business that was affected by those executive orders that I could find a contact information for. So that was sent directly to them by email a couple of different times. I also called all of the restaurants and salons at several points throughout the year to let them know about resources. So, and I would get calls from businesses too. So it may be that those businesses didn't need it enough to want to take a loan. A lot of the programs were loans, or if there was a grant, perhaps there was some aspect of the grant that they did not want to participate in, or maybe they weren't eligible for some reason.
Okay. So my next question would be, so as we're going into this first quarter or whatever the year, what's going to be our game plan to try to attract businesses and retain businesses or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. That's something that is definitely on our radar. As far as attracting businesses, I'll give you the development update in a little bit, but there's certainly businesses that are interested in coming to Oakdale. We have our the BRT station areas at Helmo Station and Greenway Station are generating a lot of interest, and those are spots where there's opportunities for new development. to build new buildings. And then as far as retail space, I'm not aware of a lot of retail vacancies, but certainly we get contacted by businesses that are looking to start, and that hasn't gone away during the pandemic. There are still businesses that are starting up and occupying space.
Okay, and then on Tanner's Lake, can you give an update on that hotel that's going to move in hopefully?
Yes, if you don't mind, I'll just later on the agenda.
Oh, you're
You kind of faded
faded
out.
out.
Did I freeze? Or, okay. Oh, I just said if it's okay with you, I'll just save that. That's included in my development update later in the agenda.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, great. Any other questions about the COVID support?
Leah,
Yes.
do we know if any of businesses in Oakdale have permanently closed?
Have permanently closed? The biggest one I'm aware of was the New Vision Cinema. They were kind of already on the out. They were already looking to sell their building, but there's been some press about that they closed because of the pandemic. So that theater, and that's a site that is getting proposed for a little bit of not full redevelopment, but remodeling for a home furniture. So that space will likely be filled pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, that, you mean that Carmike? The
Yeah.
old theater for Carmike? Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
it'll be
you
a
said,
housing.
they
Not
were
Conrad.
already closing anyway before the
Right.
pandemic, so.
I don't think you mean Carmike. I think you mean the stadium.
It's a stadium. You're
The
correct,
Stadium
Frank.
20,
Yeah,
not
you're
Carmike.
correct.
Carmike is still going.
Oh no, it's
No.
been different names. It's been a couple different names. It's been Carmike, it's been New Vision, it's been Stadium.
Yeah.
Marcus is the one at the north end of town that's still.
Yeah, off of 10th Street.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's the one
Okay.
that home is going into.
Right.
The one with the moving pictures.
Yes, yeah.
Lenny, I think the that Nerf
Yeah.
business next to Oakdale
Yeah.
Rental
Yeah.
closed. too.
Yes, that dark,
Yeah.
it was called Dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dark.
Yes, that one came to mind too, but I couldn't remember if that was right at the beginning of the pandemic or if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that was too bad. They weren't even open a couple months or so.
Any other questions about that information? Okay. And we can move on to commissioner updates. If you wanna, I guess I can, if you wanna just jump in, I could call on you too, but maybe you just wanna jump in and share an update if you have one.
I went to the Urban Walk grand opening. I think it was last week or the week before, and I do recommend. That is a great place to go. I really enjoyed the mill there. They have a large size, and there's another good thing. The city of Oakdale. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, I was there too. With Alyssa. Alyssa was there too. A lot of other people were there too. Bill, you were there.
Yes, I was
See?
incognito. You couldn't see me with my mask.
Yeah.
I would just, that it's going to be a good restaurant, but we've still got to keep hitting the ones that have been here for a long time, like the Sergeant Peppers and the beer stubs, and
Yeah.
if it's to
You're
go or to
100%
go
right.
in, either way. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's my update.
That's a good one.
Thanks, David. Anyone else?
Scott, you don't say a whole heck of a lot.
Well, I've been locked up inside the house like everybody else for the last year and a half, going nowhere, doing nothing. Uber Eats and DoorDash are my friends, and that's it.
Gary, how about you?
Well, I've been kind of locked up too, although I have since the end of March, I retired, and so I'm available more. And so that's good.
Good.
Just going to mention one thing. I wanted to thank both the city and Linnea for sending a nice gift card for Christmas. I appreciate that. I thought that's very, very nice and very thoughtful. I hope everybody else got one.
Yep, that's good. Dave, how about you?
Yeah, I've been staying inside. You know, I have been enjoying Hy-Vee, going in there and some of their takeout meals, in and out pretty quick. Yeah, that's about the extent of my getting out anywhere.
Yep. Frank, how about you?
Well, I'm just gonna say that my business is picking up somewhat, but I just got absolutely clobbered. I lost probably 50% of my business.
Right.
I got nailed really bad, but I'm okay. I mean, I'm in wonderful shape and all that, but I've got 3 people working for me, so that's why I'm doing fine, you know, paying rent and all that. But and it's good for me because I'm 77 years old. It's time for me to start slowing down anyway. I just don't like the way it happened, but so I'm slowing down. I'm working 3.5 days a week now, so that's how it's good. I needed a kick in the butt to get me to start backing off a little bit. So so I'm fine.
And I see you walking around the neighborhood, which is good.
Yeah, I'm doing that on days that I should be at work, but no, this is working out very nicely.
It's better.
fine.
It's better for you. Hey, Bob and Joe, how you guys doing?
I'm doing fine. Don't have any work, but I'm doing fine.
Well, you got Joe taking over.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Then you can get up to Michigan and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, well, listen, that's great. I appreciate everything, and we got a lot of work to get ahead of us. Keep moving the city forward. Nobody's shaking their head, so that must mean it's okay.
Forward, yes.
Okay, so we move on to the development update. Oh, does someone have something to say?
No, go ahead.
Okay. That'll be our last thing here tonight. Okay, so the news you've all been waiting for. The first phase of the Willowbrook plat. Willowbrook is the former 3M neighborhood that we've been watching for these many years. That first phase plat has been approved. So Lennar Homes is going to be developing that. Phase 1 is going to be south of 40th and west of Ideal Avenue. And they're going to start doing utilities and streets in the spring, and they'll start building houses this summer. So that will start taking shape, and that's pretty exciting. And we have information up on the website about this, but if anybody is interested in learning about purchasing homes there, you can contact Lennar Homes, and I can send you that information if you want to. So
I did go out on the Lennar website, and they don't have that development on their kind of general public map yet.
Right.
I do have, there's an email that you can email or a phone number that you can call to say that you're interested. I don't know what the process is at this point for signing up for them, but that's what I know. At Helmo Station, which is going to be a future Gold Line bus rapid transit area, Bethesda Cornerstone Village is in the planning stages for a 70-unit apartment building there. That will be a mix of market rate and affordable apartments. And also 10% of their units are going to be set aside for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They have a pretty cool program where they do a lot of supportive and community living in their apartment buildings. So that's in the works for Helmholtz Station. And at Greenway Station, there's also been some interest that we're getting from developers for multifamily housing in that area. Nothing that's really going far into the planning stages yet, but there's definitely interest for that area. So that's great. Also, the Forefront Technology and Office Campus, that's the former iMation site. They are working on modifying their master plan. You all might remember that they have a lot of undeveloped land on their campus still that is ready for some sort of development that could complement the rest of the site there. So right now they are planning for 300,000 square feet of industrial to be to the west of the existing buildings. And we expect plans for that to be coming to the city council fairly soon, but I don't have information about who the user would be for that industrial building.
If I can ask Linnea, is that going to be Slumberland property for their warehouse or whatever?
You know, I think you're remembering that they had originally told us that's what they wanted to do, was
Right.
build new buildings to house many of the functions they had at their previous property. My understanding is no, that this is not for Slumberland.
Okay, so they're going to build it and sublease it.
Yeah, I think they've been having a lot of success in leasing out the existing space. And that's their focus the last couple of years. And now it seems like they're ready to work on master planning the rest of the site, which is good.
Okay.
And then
I wanted to remind people that to mute their mic if they're not speaking.
Thank you, Dave. Yep. As far as Tanner's Lake, we've been working with a developer who is proposing a boutique hotel for the site, as well as with a restaurant and coffee shop. Things are not looking very good for that proposal right now. It's not looking like the developer is going to be able to produce the promised development, but it's not dead yet, but it is kind of dying. So we'll be coming to council sometime soon for a decision on steps for that property. So that's kind of disappointing, but hopefully we can move on to something next. It's been a tough site. And then as an update to you all, you might remember a while back, the council was discussing a local sales tax option to support the construction of public facilities for the police department and public works. That's something that the legislature didn't act on last year. And so the council is continuing to pursue that option. And they've directed staff at a recent meeting to submit a request to the state legislature for consideration. The proposal is a 0.5-cent sales tax for 25 years. And then on next Tuesday, the council is considering hiring a lobbyist to help facilitate the process for requesting that sales tax authority. So that's something that's ongoing, and you'll be hearing more about that. And finally, I'll just give you a quick update on the city's COVID recovery loan program. I mentioned earlier that 7 loans have been made. An 8th is currently in process, and the businesses that have taken advantage of that are Brothers Event Center, Ugly Putters Golf Center, Sgt. Pepper's, Premier Pizza, Anytime Fitness, and Luxury Hair Bar. And the 8th loan in process is a second loan to Premier Pizza. The council recently amended the program to allow businesses to come back for a second loan if necessary. And so Premier Pizza has done that. And this is a loan program where businesses submit paid receipts for eligible expenses that they've made for their business, and then they get reimbursed with the loan funds. So that's the major stuff I wanted to update you on. Does anyone have any questions about that or anything else?
Oh, thanks for the good update.
No.
You're welcome. That's all I have.
Linnea, this is Colleen. I just wanted to update you. We have hired a lobbyist for the sales tax.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it just happened, you know.
Update from Sue. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it just happened. So no worries. I'm just letting you know, you guys know it's moving forward. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I don't have anything else to report or for you on the agenda. I'll just point out, you know, normally in the past included the Deeds magazine about economic development in the state. They're no longer publishing that, but you can follow that link and find the individual articles. So I'll be sending you that link periodically so you can read those at your leisure. If there's nothing else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, David.
Second that.
Sorry, who is the second?
I second it. Frank did.
Thanks,
Gary.
Frank. Oh, and Gary, okay. Okay. Let's do our last roll call vote of the evening. David Lewis,
Yes.
Robert Stiglich,
Yes.
Scott Oxner,
Yes.
Frank Corsello,
Yes.
Bill Burns,
Absolutely.
Gary Livingston,
Yes.
Dave Halper,
Yep.
Mark Landis,
Yes.
Stacy Penn.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all for coming and joining this Zoom experiment with me. We'll hopefully see you all next month. And I will let you know. I think we should plan on that it will be a Zoom meeting, but I'll
Great.
keep you updated.
Well, keep us apprised if things change.
Will do.
Okay, I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Linnea.
Thank you, everybody.
Linnea.
Good job, Linnea.
Okay.
Good-